Welcome to week 10 of Turn Up, Beardown. We're going to be joined by Matt Jansen once again. He is currently on his way to, I think, North or South Carolina. South Carolina, but he is at the Nashville airport, and you know how we bring this show across to everyone. We don't take days off, so here we go. Week 8, the Bears will be hosting the Minnesota Vikings. But
I'm here in Nashville International Airport where Matt Nagy forgot his play call sheet last week. Just want to add that part.
That is our trivia for the week for our followers that love to think about what's going on in Bears history. I just can't believe that game last week. I'm so mad. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to talk about that, so we're going to look forward. We're on to Minnesota, as Bill Belichick would say. So
moving
10,
on, getting over the X.
Yeah. We're taking on the Vikings this week. I will give Nagy credit. He has really dominated the Vikings since he has taken over as coach. He's actually 4-0 against them. I went through and watched some of the recaps of the last two times we played them, and we really just our defense was so good against the Vikings and really dominated them. And Kirk Cousins hasn't played well yet against us, and let's hope that continues to trend in our way. So here we go, previewing this week's game. For the Vikings, their key players are going to be Dalvin Cook. He's really been playing well. He destroyed the Packers a couple weeks ago. I know we both really enjoyed seeing that happen. Adam Thielen's the main wide receiver target, and Danielle Hunter is an impact player on defense. For the Bears, we're really going to be looking for a big game out of Nick Foles. Once again, Allen Robinson tends to step up in these moments, and Raquan Smith is going to have to answer the bell to stop Dalvin Cook. So what are your thoughts on the key players here for this week?
Yeah, make a good point. Really, over the last couple of years, it's been more about how our defense has been able to contain Kirk Cousins in that offense. We really haven't. I wouldn't say we really haven't done much offensively. It's not like we've got out the big leads. I mean, our defense has just done such a good job of getting to Cousins, forcing him to throw the ball up. And I can remember Eddie Jackson running that pick six back in 2018,
Yep.
To basically steal that game.
Yeah.
Coming in, we did a good job against Derrick Henry last week, limiting him to 66 rushing yards, no touchdowns, really turned them into, really a dogfight. They weren't able to get out and get going with us. I'm also looking at Mooney and Miller because I know you don't like it, but I think that quick passing game is an extension of the running game for us. And listen, we're bottom 3 in rushing yards per game, bottom 4 in scoring offense, bottom 4 in rush offense. So you don't want to be down at the bottom of the list with names like Washington and the New York Football Jets. So, like I said, it seemed to work when we got over to the other side of, on their side of the field, for whatever reason, just imploded, play calling changed a little bit.
Yeah.
But I thought we did a good job of really, at least early in that game, kind of getting the ball out of Nick Foles' hands and letting our playmakers work. So I really hope we kind of continue with that. Roquan Smith, man, he's going to make the Pro Bowl this year if he stays healthy. Robert Quinn's got 1 sack this year. We paid him $70 million. Well, not we, the Bears did, but, like I said, we have to get to Kirk Cousins. That's the key.
We pay for jerseys and we pay to watch the game. So we do pay a little bit for his salary. Just
and we do this, so we got a couple stakes in the company.
We have huge stakes in the company, so but not enough apparently. All right, well, let's talk about some of the keys to the game. I think when we look at the impact players, it really does drive the keys to this game, though, because the Vikings, when they run the ball, they are such a better team. It's really strange because when they got Cousins, they expected that he was going to take them to the next level, and they did make the playoffs, and they even won a playoff game last year. I guess they won playoff games last couple of years. Well, 2 out of 3 that is. They were in the NFC Championship game in 2017 season. But anyway, Cousins hasn't really been able to do that. But when Dalvin Cook is rolling, they are a much better team. They're going to want to get to Kirk Cousins, or they're going to want to get to Kirk Cousins. They want to get him rolling, but they are going to want to get to Nick Foles. And the one thing about Nick Foles that has become more apparent each week is that the guy just can't really move very well. Even when he gets out of the pocket and has a chance to run it, it just looks like he's in slow motion when he's running the ball. And so lastly, again, the Vikings are going to want Cousins to play well. He's had, I think, a turnover or two in every game we have played. If we had our intern to check that out, he could probably verify that for us. But I'm pretty sure he's had at least an interception or a fumble in every game we've played against the Vikings since he's taken over as their starting quarterback. And it's really simple for the Bears. We just need to do what we did with Derrick Henry last week and shut down Dalvin Cook just somewhere, some way, somehow, if it's possible, with the offensive line issues we have, if we could find an offense, then I feel like we could win a lot of these games if we could just have a consistent offense. The defense is doing their part. Even last week, I was thinking about how mad I would be if I was the Bears defensive player and the offense gives up 7 points. That would just drive me insane. It's like, okay, the offense is getting scored on, and the defense is the only thing that's scoring points. And lastly, we really haven't won the turnover battle in many of these games, if any of these games this year. And it's so obvious. Like last week, there was no way we are going to win that game after the fumbles that Miller and Montgomery had. So what are your thoughts on these keys to the game?
Yeah, like I said, turnover battle's been not in our favor all year, and I think our offense needs extra possessions. We need to get the ball in their, plus territory on their side is to kind of help us get going. We talked about this. And again, we traded up for Cole Kmet, who I would say many regard as the top tight end in the draft this year. Yet, we're not using him. He's not even getting snaps right now. And so, I think again using him with Jimmy Graham. I mean, quite frankly, though, we just didn't execute either. You look at the drop passes, even in that Saints game when we drop a couple passes there, when we got to go down and score a touchdown. We had a chance. We've had chances. We're not executing. We're not helping Foles. We're not even. You can hope that a team like the Vikings, who we've had some success with, we can hopefully carry some confidence with that, which I hope will overall help with some execution. But again, getting to Cousins he will force turnovers if we can get to him, and certainly stopping Dalvin Cook. You can put them in some third and longs where you can really pin your ears back and go get Kirk.
My final thoughts before my predictions across the screen is this is really the last chance for the season, in my opinion, to be something more than just like an 8-8 season and no playoffs. If we can win this game at 6-4 with a bye week before we play the Packers, I think we're kind of back on track in a way. But if we lose this game and we drop to 5-5, it's over. It just is. Like there still are some games we can win, but we're not. If we lose this game, I don't see us beating the Packers at all. And
I think Packers are going to be tough regardless. And you're right. This is make or break here. And I think in the division, we're still 1-0.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
We still have some breathing room. But again, these are games we should win. The Vikings are not as good as they were last year or the year before.
No.
Like I said, we're going to have to capitalize on turnovers. And we're playing at home. And we play better at home. We've also played the Vikings better at home. If you look at the stats, Raji informed me. He's back from Thanksgiving break. and we got him some paid holidays.
Yeah.
Paid holidays off anyways. Because we're making so much money on this show.
Yeah.
And so, no, man, like I said, this is a get right game. We have to we're going to have to do what we do best, and that's live off our defense. And when we have opportunities to score, we're going to have to capitalize on them. We cannot implode this week. So, plus it's Monday night, all eyes are on us. I'm excited, man.
Thinking the Bears are going to pull this one out. I feel good about that happening. Again, I don't know where we finish this season. So a lot of people have written us off for being completely done, but I think this is one where it's a divisional game, so a lot of the records and stuff doesn't matter. The Vikings have been on a little bit of a streak here. They beat up on the Packers and then they won last week, so they'll definitely have some confidence going. But we know how bad we need this. If this is a game where if they lose this game, Nagy might lose their locker room, and then they might not win, but maybe 1 or 2 games the rest of the season. So I'm thinking the Bears are going to win, though.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, great point. I like your prediction. Is actually what I had. I'm going to go 2017 Bears. I think like most of these games, it's going to come down to a last possession either way. Probably most likely with our defense on the field, but like I said, if we can get to Kirk Cousins for 4 quarters, I think we're going to be in a good position. So I'm going 2017 Bears this week, and hopefully they don't make liars out of me. But I'm excited for Monday, man.
Yeah, it's always fun to have a Monday night game. Plus, like it'll give me a stress free Sunday. So, and then that's
Yeah,
probably what I'm really just looking for out of all this. Being a Bears fan is having those
yeah,
stress free Sundays.
that's right,
So,
dude. Plus, we get to watch the Jacksonville Jaguars upset the Packers this week, so
yeah, I don't know
a
about that, but
lot of people losing money on that game. I'm kidding, but we can only hope.
yeah.
Rodgers gets hit 1,000 times.
All right. Well, hey, that'll be it for this week. Don't forget to subscribe. And we will see you guys next week. Actually, we won't see you next week because next week's a bye week. We might have to make a video next week just to talk about like
Yeah, draft.
the
We're
things
doing
that
draft
the
next week.
things that need to be addressed. It might be a
Yeah,
reaction video.
off season. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, all right, but
That
hey,
sounds good. Hey, send some Pedialyte my way and pray for me, and I'll see you again next week, man.
all right. I'll see you later. Bye.
See you later, man.
And for those of you still watching, don't forget to turn up and bear down.